What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Joe Culpepper Outdoors. I'm Joe Culpepper, and as you can tell from the title, we have more bow problems. Yes, it is my lucky year for bows. I'm on this is the first year I've ever had these types of problems, and it's happened twice in the same year. So I don't know. I feel kind of like Dr. Doofenshmirtz right now. You know, if I had a nickel for every time I had a splintered limb on a bow this year, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. You know what I'm saying? So, the bow that has splintered this time, or the bow that the limb on it has splintered, is my V3X33. Now, that bow I bought and set up to shoot target with, which admittedly, I don't think I shoot a target bow that well, in all honesty. My first few groups are good, but then they really start to fall apart, even if I'm taking long breaks between shots. I think it's because of the extra weight on the bow and everything, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what you clicked on this video to hear about. So, Matthews is going to replace the limb. I don't know if they're replacing the whole limb set or just that one limb, but my bow shop is going to do the work for free, so it's no cost to me, which is great. Shout out to Matthews for doing that. But at the same time, it's got me thinking. I got rid of the Darton because I had a splintered limb on that, and I just had a limb splinter on my V3X33. Am I going to keep shooting Matthews? And before everybody gets up in arms, I do feel like I need to kind of make a couple statements here. I just had a comment on a video last night, actually, and I responded to it, and the guy kind of responded back to me. And no hard feelings to that guy if he's watching this video. It's really hard to pick up sarcasm in a comment. It really is, just because, you know, we're not having a face-to-face conversation. I can't hear inflections in your voice and things like that. But he did point out some things, and I want to just go ahead and say I'm not sponsored by Matthews. Never have been. Probably never will be. I probably won't ever be sponsored by anybody, to be completely honest with you, and that's okay. But I've never said that Matthews makes the best bow. I've never said Elite makes the best bow. I've never said anybody makes the best bow, because I believe that a bow is up to the shooter. If you go shoot the Lift 29.5 and that bow just blows you out of the water and you think, wow, this is the greatest thing in the world, that's the bow that you probably need to shoot. If you go shoot a PSE Mach 30 and that bow, you just absolutely fall in love with it, shoot that bow. There's nothing wrong with that. And I thought I've said that since day one. Maybe I haven't, but I've tried to be a big a guy that really promotes you selecting what fits you the best and not going off of just what everybody else is telling you. And I'm shooting Matthews, so I mean, you can say that I'm biased or whatever, but I shoot Matthews because they fit me the best, or at least the Phase 4 fit me the best when I was buying a bow last year. Of course, I didn't get to shoot the Hoyts. If I did, then probably wouldn't have a Phase 4 right now. In all honesty, I probably have whatever it was last year, the VTM 34 or VTM 30. Either one of those, that's probably what I would be shooting right now instead of a Phase 4. Because I shot one the other day, and let me just tell you, it felt amazing. It shot amazing, and I really wished that I had that bow. But that's neither here nor there. Limbs cracked on the V3X33. Where am I going from here? Well, there's a couple of different ways that I could approach this problem. Now, the first thing I could do is take the bow when I get it back, shoot it just like it is, and just go for it and keep everything the same. Keep my Phase 4 33, keep the V3X 33, and my hunting bow, which I have still not showed on this channel. And this is part of the reason I haven't done it. I wanted to get a couple of months with the bow before I showed it, just to make sure that I wasn't going to trade it or sell it or anything. So I'm not really going to talk about that bow. It is a Matthews. I did buy it new. It's not the Lift. It's not the Phase 4. It was a last model. One of the last ones that was just sitting on the shelf. It had been there for a couple years. So you can probably guess what it is. But anyways, I'm not going to really talk about that. So I can either keep everything just like it is right now, or I can trade the V3X33 for something different, or I can sell the V3X33 and purchase something different. So where is my brain at right now on the whole situation? Well, if I keep any of my bows, I'm keeping the Phase 4. I shoot the Phase 4 the best. It fits me the best. Probably not my favorite to shoot, in all honesty, but you can't argue with the results that I've gotten with that bow. And I have done way too many impressive things with that bow to say that it doesn't shoot good and I don't shoot it good. It does its job really, really well, and I'm 100% behind that bow. So I can get rid of the V3X33 and my hunting bow, or I can just get rid of the V3X33 and play around with something else. So I did go to the shop today, and I shot an RX8, and I shot a used RX7. Believe those were the only two bows that I shot today. In the past, I've shot the Core SS, I've shot the SS34, I've shot the CP30. All of those are Bowtech. I have shot the Alpha X30. I've shot the PSE Mach 30. I've shot the Evolve 30 DS from PSE. I've shot the Elite Ethos. I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much all the bows that I've shot so far. So where's my head at on, if I did trade, what bow would I buy? And honestly, guys, and I may get some hate for this, I may not, I don't know. I'm honestly really leaning towards PSE right now. And I say PSE, I'm really leaning towards PSE and Elite again. And the reason I'm picking those two companies is I believe for pure accuracy, I mean for 100% shooting arrows downrange and getting great groups, Elite is the company to beat. I really believe that. I don't shoot Elite. They're not paying me to say this. I'm just telling you my opinion. And the Ethos, I've seen, when I shot the Ethos, I saw such a huge advancement from the Envision. So much better performing. It was so much better performing of a bow than the Envision was, and I shot the Envision really good. How good could I shoot this Ethos? You know, so that's one option. And the second option, like I said, PSE. Now, PSE, I've shot the Mach 30, I've shot the Evolve 30 DS, but there's one other bow in their line that really, really has my attention right now, and it's the Mach 34. And the reason I would choose the Mach 34, it's a super lightweight bow, so I can put all the stabilizers I want on it to get the balance perfect without the bow being too heavy. Second thing, I can put an S2 cam on it and get a really, really fast bow, but still get a pretty smooth draw cycle and it not be punishing, which is really hard to do. The PSEs are the speed, the speed bows, I would say, of today. Now, the Lifts, I understand they put out really good speed. The Hoyts put out really good speed now. But when it comes to hitting IBO speeds, nobody, and I mean nobody that I have seen, will touch a PSE. So, just as an example, this is my one of my hunting arrows for this year. This is the Easton Sonic 6.0. This is a 300 spine, weighs 396 grains. Now, the bow that I'm shooting that out of is a shorter axle-to-axle bow. It's set at 75 pounds, 29.5 inches, which is honestly close to 30. And that bow is pushing that arrow at 308 foot a second. And I know there's probably a lot of you guys out there that think, wow, that's a fast hunting bow. And it is. But I want it faster. And where I think PSE really, really hit a home run this year with the Mach 30 and the Evolve 30, when I shot both of those bows, same arrow, same exact arrow, 5 pounds less. The bows were set at 30 inches, and honestly, they felt a little bit short. So probably even a little bit shorter draw length than my the bow I'm comparing them against. The Mach 30 shot 317 feet a second, and the Evolve 30 shot 318, 319. So I could, when I shot 70 pounds, I shot 340 spines, and that's what I'm shooting out of my V3X33, because it's set at 70 pounds. I'm shooting 340 spines, and a 340 spine Sonic 6.0, I can get down to 365, 370 grains, which would put me, it would get me knocking on 330 foot per second actual speed, which is insane and very, very close to IBO. So the bows that I'm comparing them against are not touching that. They just don't have the speed, and it kind of makes me mad at Matthews and some of these other companies for making a bow that won't touch IBO, but PSE is knocking on that door if they're not hitting it. So PSE is a big contender, and Elite is a big contender. I like the Hoyts, but I don't just love the RX-8 and the Alpha X. Honestly, the RX-8 to me shot better than the Alpha X, but I don't feel like spending another, $700, $600 to $700 on a bow just to get the carbon. Even though it draws a little bit better, it's very dead in the hand and everything. But I did like the bow. So Hoyt's pretty much out of the question right now for me. Bowtech, I love the SS34, I really do, but I just don't see that bow hitting the speeds that I want it to hit. So that one again is kind of out of the question for me. And I'm not a huge fan of the Core SS. I just didn't feel like that bow shot really good to me. So I'm back at Elite and PSE, which when I bought my Elite Envision, the two bows that were neck and neck were the Elite Envision and the PSE, whatever it was for that year. I can't even remember. And the reason I went with the Elite was the PSE had more hand shock. So now PSE's pretty much gotten rid of their hand shock, and so has Elite. They're both very dead in the hand. They both point really, really well. So the Ethos, I really like the look of that bow. I like the feel of the bow. But there again, I don't know that I can hit the speeds that I'm wanting to get. So comes back to PSE. The Mach 34 just to me is looking like the big contender, or the big choice for me right now. And I know we can talk, I just was kind of talking smack on Hoyt for having an expensive carbon bow, and I'm talking about buying a carbon bow from PSE. But the place that I would buy this bow from would probably sell it to me a little bit less than most places will. They'll give me a good trade-in value. They give me a very good trade-in value on my V3X33 if I decide to go that route. Or they'll even help me just outright sell it and get that money so I can buy a Mach 34 or an Evolve 33 or an Evolve 30, whatever. And that's something I really, really appreciate them doing. So very possibly I will be switching up at least my V3X33 right now to a different brand. I may just take and put that bow on consignment and just outright sell it, and then come back later and buy a different bow. Maybe just try to get through this year and then buy a new bow next year, because who knows what's going to happen next year. But that kind of concerns me for if I decide to shoot Elite, because Elite doesn't do like pretty much every other company. they they make one hunting bow and that's it. So like this year they made the Ethos. Now they also made the Allure, which is the women's bow, and they made the Kairos, which is a shorter draw bow. It stops at 29.5 inches. I shoot 30 inches in Elite, so they ain't but one of their bows that's gonna fit me. So I would have to shoot the Ethos. And who knows next year if they're gonna make a bow that maxes out at 30.5 or 30 inches. I don't know. And I prefer my bows to max out a little above my draw length. You know, if I'm shooting 30 inches, I want the bow to max out at 31, 31.5, because that helps me have a smoother, cleaner draw cycle, but still be comfortable in shooting the bow. So, sorry, I'm a little bit of congestion. Anyways, where am I going to go from here? I don't know. The goal right now, my big goal right now, is to get my mom a bow, because she kind of wants to shoot with me, kind of doesn't, but I know she's not going to break down and buy a bow, so I'm going to take and get her one and see how that goes. So probably when I take and go buy her a bow, I'm going to take my V3X and put it up for sale, and then just kind of go from there. If I decide to go ahead and get another bow, then you guys are going to see a video about that. If I decide to just leave it alone for right now, of course I'm going to come back and make sure that you guys know. But just so everybody's up to date, the playing field is leveled and everything. I made this statement before. If I'm buying a brand new bow, a 2024, it won't be a Matthews. I just don't really like the lift. So I'm holding to my word. Not shooting Matthews again right now. I just don't like the direction they're going. So, to the guy who commented on one of my videos last night, I'm sorry to you. If you watch this video, man, I'm sorry if I sounded a little aggravated. I was trying not to sound aggravated, but anyways, I have shot the Mach 30. I like the Mach 30. This was in his comment. He was talking about the Mach 30. Like the bow, shoots good. Don't really like the price on it, but you know, it is what it is. If I want that bow, I will pay the price for it. I mean, there's no way around that. So Mach 30 is a good option. Evolve 30, Evolve 33, the Mach 34, all of those bows are really big contenders, along with the Elite Ethos. Of course, the SS34 is still going to be a contender. It's probably not going to get picked, but I will put it up against the others if I decide to buy a new bow. And I'll keep you guys updated. And let me know what you guys might want to see me shooting. I would absolutely love to get my hands on a prime, at least to test fire it. But there's not any within like 150 miles of me, and I don't really want to drive that far just to not like the bow. So we are planning a trip to Jacksonville in July probably, and I think there's a bow shop in Jacksonville that sells prime, so I might be waiting until then, just so I can put hands on one and shoot it and see if I like it. If I don't like it, I don't have to buy it. But I would love to get my hands on a prime. So if you want to see me at least test shoot a prime, let me know in the comments, and let me know what bows you want to see in the running. I know the Mach 30, everyone loves the Mach 30. I love the Mach 30. It's great. I just don't know that I want to spend that much money on a bow right now. So if I have enough people show up for the Mach 30, let's say if I get 30 comments on this video and I get 100 likes, I will, no questions asked, go buy a Mach 30. So if that is the bow that you guys want to see me shoot, make sure that we get the likes up, make sure we get the comments in there, and I will go buy a Mach 30, set it up completely, and I will do a shoot down the Mach 30 versus my Phase 4 33 and put that video up. But you guys got to blow this video up and make sure that we get lots of likes and lots of comments. So with that being said, everybody, I really appreciate the support, appreciate your view. You guys really do mean a lot to me, even though I don't know you personally. It really means a lot when people like these videos, when they comment, and when you just watch the video. If you don't want to like or comment, you don't want to subscribe, that's fine, that's great. You do you. I'm not going to shame you for it. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because I'm not that guy. But anyways, everybody, stay safe, stay in the outdoors. God bless you, and I will catch you on the next one.